Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. A lot of people say, well, freedom of speech is only for American citizens. No, that's not what the writers of the Constitution said. The writers of the Constitution said every human being has the right of free speech that comes from God. So this is a major lose for Trump's immigration policy. And it's not his immigration policy, it's his censorship policy for Israel. So Trump is not giving you free speech. He's doing the woke right thing. The woke right are the people who want to censor you if you criticize Israel or Zionism. That's the woke right. No matter whatever that other guy said, James, whatever his name, the woke right are the people who want, just like the woke left wanted to censor you if you talked about LGBTQ in a bad way or said you were using hate speech or racist speech and they wanted to censor you, or if you wanted to tell the truth about COVID, they wanted to censor you. Now the right is doing the same thing if you want to tell the truth about Israel or Gaza or Benjamin Netanyahu or free speech on campuses. So they want to censor you. That's called, I'm calling that the woke right, and coin it.
It is.
And that is. So this Columbia student went for an he's been here forever. So this Columbia student who was arrested at citizenship interview is freed. Mohsen Mahdawi, the organizer of the Pro-Palestinian movement at Columbia University, was freed from federal custody on Wednesday after immigration officials sought to rescind his green card. In a ruling to release Mr. Mahdawi, a federal judge, Jeffrey W. Crawford, found on Wednesday that he did not pose a danger to the public and that he was not a flight risk. The judge referenced cases from the 50s and the specter of McCarthyism, saying this was not our proudest moment. So no. Trump is doing the new McCarthyism.
I call it Milkowskiism after Bibi Milkowski.
Yeah, Milkowski. Benjamin Netanyahu's real name is Milkowski because he's not from Palestine. He's not from the Philly. Middle East. He's from
Philly.
From Philly. Mr. Mahdi's release is a defeat for the Trump administration in its widening crackdown against students protesters, although other students, remember, a lot of people say, well, freedom of speech is only for American citizens. No, that's not what the writers of the Constitution said. The writers of the Constitution said every human being has the right of free speech that comes from God. And what the Constitution said, and what the writers of the Constitution said, the founding fathers of our country said, is that the government will not interfere with that free speech right that you have from God. So it doesn't matter if you're a citizen or not. The Constitution protects free speech for everybody. And if you're for free speech, it's not a privilege. It's not a privilege just for people who are citizens. It's a value you're supposed to live by, and you're supposed to want to spread to everybody, just like the founders of this country wanted to. So if you're against free speech for students here on green cards or visa or anybody anywhere in the world, you're against the U.S. Constitution, you're against God, and you're the woke right.
By the way, the guys that framed the Constitution, a bunch of them didn't even really believe in God like that.
Right.
But they thought it was so important, they wanted to say there's an authority above them.
That's right.
Even if they didn't believe in it, to protect it.
The Secretary of State Marco Rubio has argued the immigration authorities have a right to eject even legal residents from the country for protest activities that the government says harms Americans' foreign policy interests. Mr. Mahdawi, 34, has been in custody since April 14th when an immigration official detained him at an appointment in Vermont that he thought was a step toward becoming a U.S. citizen. So here's a guy crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's, showing up for his appointments. He's got a green card. He's a legal resident, and he wants to become an American citizen, and he's doing it the legal way.
No MS-13 tattoos of any kind.
And so what they do is they arrest him and try to deport him for free speech, for a thought crime, not a thought crime against America, not a speech crime against Americans, but for another country. That, how despicable if you think you're a good American and you support that bullshit that Trump is doing, okay?
If it was against America, they can't do it.
And most of the people in MAGA that I know personally and that come to my shows do not support Trump in this. They're free speech people. So Judge Crawford ordered that Mr. Mahdawi be released from the detention facility where he had been held in the state. They arrested me. What's the reason? Because I raised my voice and I said no to war and I said yes to peace. Because I said enough is enough. Killing more than 50,000 Palestinians is more than enough. A green card holder for the past 10 years, a decade. Mr. Mahdawi was not accused of a crime. Rather, Marco Rubio wrote in a memo justifying his arrest that his activism could undermine the Middle East peace process by reinforcing anti-Semitic sentiment.
Not
Right
as much
there.
as what you did to him.
No.
Not as much as what you did to the guy.
That's right. You know what's actually causing anti-Semitism to rise? Arresting people for free speech. Mr. Mahdawi's lawyers had requested a temporary restraining order to prevent federal officials from transferring him to a more conservative jurisdiction, a tactic that was used in the detention of attempted deportation of at least 4 other college demonstrators, including Mahmoud Khalil, a legal permanent resident who has been in Louisiana detention facility since last month. Another Vermont federal judge, William K. Sessions III, swiftly granted the request, ordering that Mr. Mahdawi, who grew up in Palestine refugee camp in the West Bank, not be removed from the United States or transferred out of Vermont until he was ordered otherwise. Judge Crawford then extended the decision to keep Mr. Mahdawi in the state until Wednesday's ruling. Shortly after Mr. Mahdawi's release, his attorney said that he would be allowed to finish his academic program at Columbia. The Trump administration had sought to deport Mr. Mahdawi using the same legal provision that it is using to detain Mr. Khalil, contending that his presence is a threat to the foreign policy and national security interests of the United States. Federal officials have argued that pro-Palestinian demonstrators have enabled the spread of anti-Semitism. No, what Trump is doing is furthering anti-Semitism. Again, whenever you try to censor someone, it doesn't work. It just creates more backlash.
Who are they consulting with that is like, be more pushy?
In April, an immigration judge in Louisiana found that federal officials could deport Mr. Khalil, and the Department of Homeland Security later denied him permission to attend the birth of his first child. In recent weeks, Mr. Mahdawi had been in hiding, worried about being arrested by immigration police after Mr. Khalil was detained on campus housing at Columbia. He asked the university for help but did not receive it. An extreme pro-Israel group called Dore had warned on social media that he was next to be detained. But
why is some Fruit Loop ISIS of Israel allowed to make that call?
Because the Israel lobby runs our country.
Oh, well, okay,
and it's certainly the Trump administration and our Congress. But he was determined to appear for an interview he had been told was related to his naturalization, even though he feared it was a trap. He alerted Vermont senators and representatives in case things went wrong, and before the appointment, he studied the Constitution, preparing for his naturalization test. Instead, immigration officers, some with their faces covered. That sounds very Gestapo-like, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like that? Placed Mr. Mahdawi in handcuffs and arrested him, according to a statement released by the Vermont 2 Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent, and Peter Welch, a Democrat. And so that's what happened. So guess what? Big loss for Trump's campaign against free speech. Hooray. And a big win for free speech. Hooray.
Again, Dore is a group that the ADL has blacklisted and condemned for being too crazy.
Yeah. If the ADL, which themselves are a corrupt organization that is there not to protect people from anti-Semitism, but to slander people with the accusation of and discredit them and shut them up for using accurate criticism of Israel and Zionism. So this is not America first. This is Israel first. And most of the people I know in MAGA don't go along with this garbage. And if you are, you're against God. You're against the Constitution, you're against the founders, and you're not for free speech. You're the woke right. You're just as bad as the AOCs and the morons on the left who wanted to censor you for your hate speech. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.